For years, I've talked to people who've shared their deepest hurts and hidden shames. One question always comes up. Why don't they just leave? It seems simple, but it's complex. It's not about weakness. It's a web of factors making leaving feel impossible. Instead of questioning the victim, we need to understand the abuser's tactics and the emotional toll it takes. Today, we'll dive into why people stay in toxic relationships and the immense courage it takes to break free. For those caught in these situations, know you are not alone. There is hope, help, and your life matters. Chapter 1: Psychological Impact. Constant emotional, verbal, or physical abuse chips away at your sense of self and confidence. Over time, this relentless negativity can make you question your worth and abilities. You start to internalize the harsh words and actions, believing them to be true. Imagine someone always telling you you're worthless. Those words burrow deep. They become a part of your inner dialogue, echoing in your mind even when the abuser isn't around. This constant barrage of negativity can be incredibly damaging. Abuse can lead to anxiety, depression, and PTSD. These mental health issues can be debilitating, affecting your ability to function in daily life. The emotional scars left by abuse can take years to heal, and some may never fully disappear. Chronic stress rewires your brain, making it harder to think clearly or make rational decisions. The constant state of fear and anxiety can lead to cognitive impairments, making it difficult to concentrate or remember things. Abuse isn't always physical. It's often subtle manipulation and control. This can include isolating you from friends and family, monitoring your activities, or making you doubt your own perceptions and memories. Abusers twist the narrative, making you believe you're the problem. They use tactics like gaslighting to make you question your reality, leaving you feeling confused and helpless. The longer you're in that environment, the more distorted your reality becomes. You may start to believe that you deserve the abuse, or that there's no way out. Understanding the psychological impact of abuse is crucial. It helps in recognizing the signs and seeking help. Therapy and support groups can provide the tools needed to rebuild your sense of self and regain control over your life. It's about the invisible wounds that run deep, affecting every aspect of a person's being. These wounds may not be visible, but they are just as real and painful as physical injuries. Healing is possible, but it takes time and support. Chapter 2: Living in the Shadow of Fear. Fear is a powerful motivator. When someone you love threatens you, it triggers a primal instinct for survival. It creates a climate of terror, a constant state of walking on eggshells. You modify your behavior to avoid triggering an explosion. Sometimes threats are against children, pets, or loved ones, used as leverage. Abusers are skilled manipulators, creating a cycle of hope and fear. Leaving isn't simple. It's a calculated risk, often outweighed by the terror of what will happen if they try to leave. Chapter 3: The Chains of Dependency. Imagine being in a financially abusive relationship. Your partner controls the money, dictating every penny you spend. Financial abuse is a hidden form of control, stripping away your independence. The more financially dependent you are, the harder it is to leave. The abuser may use your financial situation against you, making you feel hopeless. Financial independence is essential for everyone, especially those in vulnerable situations. It provides choices, options, and the freedom to walk away from a toxic relationship. It's not just about money, it's about power and control. Chapter 4: The Erosion of Self-Worth. Imagine looking in the mirror and not recognizing the person staring back at you. Years of constant criticism and emotional abuse leave you feeling unworthy and broken. When someone you love constantly tells you you're not good enough, you start to believe it. This lack of self-worth becomes a prison of its own making. The abuser may use your low self-esteem against you, reinforcing the negative self-image. But here's the truth. You are worthy of love, respect, and happiness. Your value comes from within, and it's time to reclaim it. Chapter 5. The Cycle of Abuse. Imagine a relationship swinging like a pendulum, moving back and forth between moments of joy and moments of pain. One moment, there's love and affection. The next, there's anger and abuse. It's a confusing and heartbreaking pattern. This is the cycle of abuse, a dangerous dance of hope and despair. It traps you in a whirlwind of emotions, making it hard to see a way out. It starts with a honeymoon phase where everything seems perfect, but soon tension builds, leading to an inevitable explosion of anger and violence. After the abuse comes remorse, with promises to change. The abuser may shower you with apologies, gifts, and declarations of love. You cling to hope, believing things will get better. But the cycle repeats, each time chipping away at your self-worth and confidence. The abuser knows how to reel you back in with promises of a better future. They exploit your hope and desire for a loving relationship. Breaking free requires immense strength and courage. It means recognizing the pattern and deciding to take control of your life. Recognize the pattern, understand the abuse is not your fault, and seek help to break free. Support is available, and you deserve a life free from abuse. Chapter 6. Children and Family Ties. Imagine being in a toxic relationship with children. The constant stress and tension can be overwhelming, and the impact on your children is heartbreaking. You see the worry in their eyes, and it tears you apart. The thought of breaking up your family and subjecting your children to a custody battle fills you with dread. You worry about the emotional toll it will take on them and the uncertainty of their future. Children add another layer of complexity to an already agonizing situation. Their innocent faces remind you of the stakes involved, making every decision feel monumental. The abuser may use the children as pawns, manipulating them to maintain control and making leaving even harder. This manipulation can leave lasting scars on their young minds. Pressure from family and society to keep the family together can make you feel trapped. The expectations to maintain a facade of a happy family can be suffocating. Children are perceptive. They see the tension and feel the fear. They may not understand everything, but they know something is wrong, and it affects them deeply. Sometimes the bravest thing you can do for your children is to create a safe and healthy environment. This might mean making difficult choices, but their well-being is worth it. Even if that means leaving an abusive relationship, taking that step can be the beginning of a new, healthier chapter for both you and your children. Chapter 7. Social and Cultural Pressures. Imagine being in a toxic relationship but afraid to tell anyone. You're afraid of being judged, ostracized, or bringing shame upon your family. In some cultures, there's a stigma attached to divorce or speaking out against a partner. Family and friends might pressure you to stay, to avoid bringing shame upon the family name. Societal expectations and picture-perfect images of happy families can make you feel like you're failing. This silence benefits the abuser, allowing the abuse to continue unchecked. It's time to break the silence and challenge the stigma. Your safety and well-being are paramount. Chapter 8. The Lack of Support. Imagine feeling lost and alone, like you're drowning in despair with no one to help. Many people in toxic relationships feel isolated and unsupported. The abuser might have isolated them from friends and family, making them entirely dependent. They might be too ashamed or afraid to reach out. Sometimes, even when they do reach out, they're met with disbelief and judgment. It's crucial to educate ourselves about toxic relationships and be a source of support. No one should have to face abuse alone. Chapter 9. Isolation and Control. Imagine a world slowly shrinking, your connections severed, your voice silenced. This is the reality of isolation, a tactic used by abusers to maintain control. It starts subtly, with comments about your friends and family. Over time, the isolation intensifies, until the abuser is the only person you have left. This isolation makes you dependent on the abuser and harder to reach out for help. Isolation is a form of control, making you vulnerable and reliant on the abuser. If you recognize yourself in this, Know that you are not alone. There is help available, and there is a way out. Chapter 10: Trauma Bonding. Imagine feeling deeply connected to someone who hurts you. This phenomenon is called trauma bonding, occurring in situations with a power imbalance. The abuser alternates between cruelty and affection, creating a roller coaster of emotions. This chemical cocktail creates a powerful attachment, even in the face of abuse. Your brain starts to associate the abuser with both pain and pleasure. Trauma bonding is a survival mechanism, not love. Breaking free requires professional help and support. Today has been heavy, but remember, there is always hope. If you see yourself or someone you love in these stories, know you are not alone. There is help, support, and a way out. Reach out to a trusted friend, family member, therapist, or hotline. Healing is a journey, not a destination. Be kind to yourself and surround yourself with people who love and support you. You are worthy of love, respect, and happiness. Never give up on yourself.